I'm looking forward to the challenge. I think anytime you bring in a group of young guys like we are, it's like starting all over sometimes. And hopefully we got enough of the older guys, the varsity guys, that they can set the tempo and provide the leadership that we need to help bring those young guys along.
I know when we talked to you in the spring, right at the beginning, you talked about how you were maybe a little nervous, but it seems like kind of throughout the spring that the guys that you did have in here kind of maybe alleviated that a little bit. It seems like they did what they needed to do.
Well, I think David Mullis stepped up. We've talked about him time and time again. He had a great spring, I think. The thing that I want to see him, obviously, is pick it up where he left off, but get better going into the season. And he should get better every game. David played in, a few games last year in the cleanup role, but he has not got a lot of snaps. Then you got Elliot Hoyt, which has done the same thing. He's always played the cleanup role. So let's see if those two guys inside, which is where we're lacking the depth, if those two guys can do what we ask them to do and what's expected of them, which won't be easy. And what I mean by that is my biggest goal is to create depth. So I got to get some of those young guys to be able to help those guys out. And because they can't line up and play 80 snaps inside the way we expect them to play. So that's a big deal. Bringing on the young guys, just some guys that can do some things in there to help us out and get a few reps each game. Well, it's a big task. As a young player, I think it's a lot easier to play on the edge than it is in the middle, because obviously you got to be so mentally and physically tough to line up in there. It's a whole different world when you get down inside of those guys, and our guys have to be able to handle that. I think we've got some good young guys coming in, and it's just the question of how far can they come and how fast.
It's the question that everyone's asking about the D-line and all that stuff.
Right.
But as you're saying, a good amount of the guys that you might be expecting to have roles have not had an official practice yet here. So it's
right.
So it's kind of a tough situation.
Yeah, it is a tough situation. It's really, to be honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've not seen them do any football yet. I look at them physically and the way they run around and think, okay, well, he looks like he can. But now when you put the pads on, like I said, it's a whole different world down in there.
Do you approach it thinking that some of these, you signed so many freshmen? I mean, you even said you might have to play a couple. Do you approach it thinking you're going to?
Yeah, I'm approaching it that I need to get 3 or 4 of those guys ready to take some reps this year. 2 things: it'll make us better this year, and it'll make us better next year. If those guys can play, now it's like I tell them when we recruit them, it's up to you. I mean, I'm going to do everything I can mentally to get you ready to play. You got to put the time and effort into it, and we'll see how mentally and physically tough they are when we get started.
You don't have any idea who those guys are at this point?
If you look at them physically, you would think Coyote would have a chance to play. You would think Chase Atata, I think, has got a chance. Jabari Watson, you see him, physically he looks like he could play, and he's actually been here a couple of weeks longer than the rest of the freshmen, which I think has helped him. And then the biggest guy of all of them, stature-wise, is Emmanuel. And that's where we really need some helps at nose guard. So if you look at them physically, appearance-wise, those 4 guys right there, you think could do it. Now,
that's all you have to go off on?
Yeah, that's all you got, because you have no clue. It's like I said before, they were the best in their high school, and that's the reason they're here now. But now they're going to line up in the middle against 2 of the best. So it's a whole different world.